All right, Andy, you're here telling us about your conference. Let me tell you why I think it's a good idea. I'll never forget the moment as a youth pastor. I had a girl come in to my office and tell me that she no longer wanted to be a Christian anymore because she saw a video on YouTube that said the birth of Jesus was a borrowed myth from a pagan religion and that Christianity was debunked. As she sat there, I started to think, hold on a second, how do I know that the birth of Jesus is not borrowed from a pagan myth? So both of us at that point had a choice. She had a choice to be a Christian or not. I had a choice, can I still be a pastor or not? Or should I quit? Or do apologetics? And so I'm sold on the idea. But I think maybe some people here aren't sold. I mean, Chris is the only other person here, but...
Right. I don't know if I'm sold.
So what is it about apologetics that you think we need?
You know, the church really is in a difficult spot right now. And that it's a worldview issue that really does need to be addressed, and it's an apologetic issue. Currently, the church is losing between 70 and 90% of its young people that head off to university. I have heard from a number of students who are off at university, and they'll come and talk to me and say, Andy, my professor is challenging me that God doesn't even exist, and I'm not even sure if life has meaning anymore. And, you know, then they're just broken. They need to talk it out, and they need answers. And that's one of the things that we're seeking to do, is we're seeking to answer these difficult issues. What I'm finding is there's many people in the church that don't know how to defend their faith. Worse than that, they're not even sure if their faith is defendable. Most people, they're not even sure what apologetics is. You know, I'm convinced that they think it's probably apologizing.
Yeah. Right. Sorry for the Crusades. Sorry for the slave trade. Sorry for the witch hunts.
Sorry for the bad music.
Sorry for Michael W. Smith. We're working on it.
It's like, sorry, Michael, as well.
Yeah, sorry, Michael.
The word apologetics comes from the Greek word apologia, which is found in 1 Peter 3:15, when Peter says that we need to be ready to give an answer or defense for the hope that we have, and the hope that we have in Jesus Christ. And really what we're seeking to do is to equip the church so that they are able to defend their faith and know that their faith is defendable.
I remember that verse in youth group. I think I got a candy for memorizing it, but yeah, thanks for that.
I threw in... Don't cut that, by the way.
That's awesome.
Hey, I know what I was gonna want to.
Some of the guys you've been bringing in, I gotta be honest, they were a lot of names with a lot of letters before and after their names, but as a Canadian, I didn't really know who these guys were. So maybe you could help me or help everybody understand who these guys are, why you decided that these were the best thinkers for this conference. I mean, I think one of your guys discovered Sodom and Gomorrah, where some of our people haven't even discovered their belly button yet. So obviously there's something wealthy that you're bringing in here, and can you help us understand a bit who they are?
We're helping to expose them to leading thinkers who are really influential. For example, Greg Koukl, he's one of our keynote speakers. He is the president of Stand to Reason. He's a popular radio show host in LA. And in fact, he's been on Lee Strobel's show and debated with people like Deepak Chopra. He's speaking on the area of the new atheists. And what evidence are they bringing forth, and how can we respond to these books that are being written? You know, these are some pretty antagonist books like The God Delusion, or God is Not Good, God is Not Great, or Sam Harris's book, Letters to a Christian Nation. Another one is Dr. Stephen Collins. He's an archaeologist from New Mexico, a leading guy. He's currently in Jordan in a dig with the potential site of Sodom and Gomorrah, as you mentioned. He's going to be talking about how does archaeology confirm the Bible? Because people need to know that it does, in fact, confirm the Bible, and really well. We're going to be bringing in Dr. Craig Hazen. He is a professor at Biola University. In fact, he's the director of their Masters of Arts in Christian Apologetics. He's a leading speaker, leading thinker. I mean, he's even spoken at Capitol Hill. Very sharp individual. He's written a number of books. He's going to be speaking on the evidence for the resurrection. One of our other speakers is Dr. John Mark Reynolds. He is also a leading speaker, thinker. He's a professor of philosophy at Biola University, and in fact leads the Torrey Honors Institute. A very sharp individual. He's going to be talking about culture and the war of worldviews. Really, there's no one better to address these issues than these guys.
And I'm a pastor of a church, and I know that many of my members and myself, we've wrestled with these kind of questions. Why is there suffering, right? Is the Bible true? Is it reliable? And so how's this conference going to help us as pastors and the congregants that we serve on a weekly basis?
Well, see, I guess one of the things that's happening with doing the Apologetics conference is we're being proactive, not reactive. We actually want to share these issues and expose them to people, if possible, before they do. Right. So that then we can begin to talk about and dialogue with these important questions. You know, a lot of people don't realize that Christianity has a robust intellectual tradition and that it's not a blind faith tradition. That's one of the worst ideas that has crept into Christianity. Christianity is a solid tradition that has sought to answer these hard questions of life. And in fact, they answer them very well. So in the Apologetics Conference is exposing pastors and people in the church to these issues. They're wrestling through these issues with people. Right. And really what they're doing is they're exposing them to resources and people that they can go to, solid people that they can go to help them with these difficult issues in life.
Right. Well, you've sold me. John's been sold for a long time.
That's true.
And so if I want to come to that conference, what do I do?
Well, it's interesting. This conference that we're doing is the first of its kind in BC history.
Right.
This is the first Apologetics Conference. It's 2 days, over 12 speakers. It's on March 4th to 5th. You can go to apologeticscanadaconference.ca to register. We're also on Facebook, Twitter. You can follow us through a number of methods.
Right. All right, Andy, I believe you. I think it's going to be great. You've put a lot of time into this, and I know you wouldn't waste your time doing it if it was a waste of our time. So March 4th and 5th, I'll see you there. Looking forward to it.